It's been a year. Where are you? Rest in peace. You're so annoying. Oh, that's not very nice. Stalin got him. You know what? I actually kind of like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have been very unfortunately sent to the gulag after my last video, but your boy is back. And today, I'm just gonna play a nice casual game of Hoi4. No challenges, no mods, nothing special. You have to play World Ablaze as the Soviet Union. No. 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 For those of you unfamiliar with World Ablaze, it is basically a Hoi4 mod that claims to be totally 100% historically accurate. Is it actually historically accurate? Well, I'm about to find out. And of course, we're forced to play basically the worst, okay, maybe not the worst, but definitely the second to worst country on this list, because you know when they say historically accurate, they just mean it's rigged to hell, right? The army's not even gonna know how to hold a gun the right way around. I mean, this is just gonna be a complete nightmare. As with all of these mods, the second you log in, you get like a massive essay, like, Jesus Christ.
World Ablaze is a historical total overhaul mod that changes almost all of the gameplay mechanics, expanded the massive top AI. This mod meant to be run alone.
Okay, so what I ascertained from that is that they doubled the factory count and halved the factory output. Why the hell they did that, you ask? That, my dear friend, is a very, very good question, because I have no fucking clue. Right, let's take a look at what the fuck is wrong with this country then, shall we? Probably everything, right? Stalin, 25 political power. That's actually pretty good. Cavalry, yeah, I think we're screwed. Trotsky, I plot. We can't send volunteers. Does that mean, no Spanish Civil War? Soviet industry, not looking too hot either.
What the hell is even that?
Right, that's it. I'm done. Goodbye. See you in another year. Excuse me, but what in the Lenin am I looking at right now? Division org, heat attrition, winter attrition, division attack, infantry. Is there one stat that is not debuffed? Also, land doctrine plus 100%. Yeah, we're not gonna be getting any doctrines apparently. And if you thought that wasn't bad enough, apparently the Air Force just forgot how to fly. And the Navy's debuffed, but who cares about the Navy? Long story short, we are in very, very, very deep trouble. Oh no, it's one of those mods that gives you like a massive shopping list of stuff you need to do, and only if you do all of it, you get a bonus. Like, why would I want to make light support tanks and light tanks? I don't want to make support tanks, I want to make T-34s, but now I have to get 10,000 light tanks, or I don't get 100 army XP. And I really, really need army XP, probably, to fix this stupid modifier. Ah, here we go, army reform, 200 army XP! Yeah, that's gonna take a while, isn't it? I don't know how many reforms you have to do. If this is like China in those 8-year War of Resistance mods, then probably about 20 times, so I am not looking forward to how much army XP we're gonna need for that. Pretty typical feature of these ultra-historical mods, they split the resources into different types. We now have coal, bauxite, and iron, and somehow I have already 500 coal short. How do I get more coal? Do I have to buy it? Okay, it's not that bad, it's like 100 coal for one factory, so that's not too bad. Also, apparently civilian factories now cost 2 iron and 1 steel, and I don't have any iron. How the hell does this thing work? I probably shouldn't be playing this super hard mod on 5 speed, but you know what I say to that?
Fast as boy.
I didn't actually notice this earlier, but my political power gain is actually extremely atrocious, and it's basically all down to this cavalry army clique thing. Now, I did a little bit of research, I did my homework. The historical background is that there's this one idiot Budyonny. You might recognize him as the one guy who always survives a great purge. To quote a captured Russian officer during the Battle of Kiev, he is a man with a very big mustache, but a very small brain. I don't think I could have put it better myself. The man was so obsessed with cavalry that he was convinced that by the time World War II rolled around, everyone would be calling for the cavalry. Yeah, I don't think that happened, did it? So I think I figured out how production works in this mod. Basically, the efficiency cap is really, really bad. I mean, if you play the base game, you know that 15% is absolute dog shit. Now, the way you increase this is with MIOs. Basically, these upgrades, they all give efficiency cap and efficiency gain, and also you get extra factory output, which is honestly kind of nice. Not gonna lie, this is a really cool feature. They should probably add this to the base game because, I mean, it just makes more sense. Like, the more tanks you build, the better you're gonna be at building tanks. That's just simple logic. Just like in the base game, to end the purge, we need to do Block of Rights and Trotskyites, and to do that, we need to do the Great Purge first, which apparently we can't do yet. And it gives you officers 2,100 days. How long even is that? 2,000, is that 6? We're gonna be here for 6 years. Officers purged expires 30th of April, 1942. Yeah, I don't even know if we're gonna survive until April 1942 at the rate that this mod is throwing BS at us, but let's do the Zinoviev whatever. Honestly, January 1937, I have like nearly 500 factories. Germany doesn't even have like 400, so famous last words, but this doesn't feel that bad. Obviously, my modifiers absolutely suck, but I have the industrial base to do this. As soon as I get onto the third 5-year plan, we can start building mills, so we probably should just ramp up a bunch of production and just spam, right? Well, if you like me thought our situation could not possibly get any worse than it already was, then how mistaken we are. Because I just finished the shopping list that required us to get like 10,000 light tanks or whatever. I have my 200 army XP. I have my juicy political power. I tried to reform the army and... Bruh. Yep, that's right. You can't actually reform the army if you have officers purged. Now, remind me when officers purged expires again? Yeah, that's right. April 1942. Conclusion? Now, technically, you can actually reform the army with officers purged if you've done Lessons of War, but Lessons of War requires you to have gone to war and have 100,000 casualties or something stupid. I was originally going to leave Finland alone because they're obviously going to be rigged as hell, but I guess we're being forced to go to war with Finland because that prerequisite basically means the Winter War, right? If I want a functional army, I have to get my army killed first. Brilliant logic, mod makers. Brilliant logic. I honestly have no idea why you would ever make focus prerequisites based on casualties. That just doesn't make any sense. Oh, I'm so sorry. How the hell did we... I mean, if we're gonna lose to Japan, we are just so unbelievably screwed. Oh, I did not know I was supposed to invade Poland as well. Obviously, historically, the Soviets did, but I kinda just forgot that this mod was claiming to be accurate because of all the fucking bullshit that they've thrown at us. Oh, Germany, thank you very, very much. How generous you are handing over half of Poland to me. I hope you're grateful for my very extensive contribution to that military operation. Right, anyway, deal with the devil or whatever. Then we can go down here and claim Leningrad, and then probably just like die to Finland or something. Imagine if Finland takes Leningrad. That would be so funny. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the most botched war in all of history? Let's go. So immediately I was thrown the massive curveball of a 90-day deadline to take Viipuri. Otherwise, I would lose all my war support, apparently. Yeah, I think it would have been nice if they told us about this beforehand. So obviously the million-dollar question is, did we manage to take Viipuri in 90 days? Well...
What the fuck?
Yeah, that did not go exactly to plan, did it? 90 days of throwing my men at the front line, and we have achieved literally nothing. Even if we ignore the disgusting bonuses that Finland has, and the equally disgusting debuffs that we have, and also the fact that the terrain is literally rigged against us. But I just wanted to take a minute to talk about the goddamn Mannerheim line, because in this game, the devs put it as level 6 forts. Now, for reference, the Maginot line, you know, the strongest fortifications ever built, are level 15 forts. And that was built using 2.5 million cubic meters of concrete. Do you want to know how much concrete is in the frickin' Mannerheim line? Yeah, literally like 12,000. That's less than the fucking Helsinki Opera House. An opera house worth of concrete. A level 6 forts. How do you fuck it up this bad? Logic has completely gone out the window, historical accuracy has completely gone out the window, and this run has completely gone out the window because, oh my god. We're done. This is done. Goodbye. You know what? Desperate times call for desperate measures. So I asked myself, what is it that everyone does whenever they can't win as a country in Hearts of Iron 4? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the answer is pretty simple. Invade the United States of America, because at the start, they basically don't have an army, like 20 divisions. I mean, compared to our 155 divisions, I think you see where I'm going with this. It goes without saying, our divisions are barely functional, but honestly, it shouldn't even matter. They have like 20 divisions. We should just be able to walk around them. Now, the biggest question is, how the hell do we actually get to America? Because there's no way we're capitulating the Allies, so we're not going through Canada. We basically don't have a navy. It is also debuffed as hell. And by the way, the convoy tech is literally locked. Like, the Red Army has somehow not discovered boats yet in 1936, so naval invasion's completely impossible. How the hell are we gonna get to America then? Well, Mexico, it looks like your stability is not doing too great, so Would be a shame if someone tried to stage a coup here, right? I think you get the idea. We're basically gonna make Mexico communist, invite them to the Comintern, and then bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bop boom, pow.
With America's billion factories and also the fact that being at war with a major unlocks the Stavka focus, if this doesn't work, then I honestly don't know what will. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for a good old-fashioned coup d'etat. Honestly, America, you think you're the only one who can stage coups everywhere? Well, think again, buddy, because I'm about to turn Mexico so incredibly communist that you're not gonna know what hit you. Let's go. Hold on a second. For some reason, I can get military access from the US. I don't know why they like me so much. During 1937, we were not the best of friends, but honestly, what did we expect from this mod? Honestly, that's kind of useful, because I can send my troops there ahead of time, right? Don't mind me, just the entire Red Army hanging out in frickin' Alabama. Definitely not planning an invasion. Definitely not. Currently, I have 96 divisions. The Americans have like 20 something. So surely there is no way this doesn't work, right? Right. Desperate times call for desperate measures. If this doesn't work, then I honestly don't know what will. Surely there is no way this doesn't work, right?
He tried it.
Surprise, motherfucker.
What the fuck is this? No, you're not seeing this wrong. America literally just spawned 200 divisions out of thin air. What the fuck is this bullshit? I swear to God, this cheating ass fucking lazy mod, son of a fucking bitch, honestly. Son of a fucking I've had my tantrum. Now it's time to figure out how to beat this mod, because make no mistake, I absolutely refuse to be defeated by such a historically inaccurate mod. Developers, you have picked a fight with the wrong person, because I swear to God, I'm gonna destroy this shit. So I think the biggest mistake I made in the last two runs is that I wasn't making proper divisions. I was basically using the Russian infantry division that we start with like a few extra support companies smacked on top. Honestly, given how rigged this mod is, that's just not gonna cut it. As with a lot of these mods, the key is to make the best division possible, and after a bunch of trial and error, this is what I've come up with. It's mechanized, it's got artillery, it's got anti-air. I've also put on heavy tanks because making Space Marines ain't never hurt anybody. It is obviously quite a lot more expensive than the crap we were throwing together previously, but honestly, quality over quantity, right? That has to be the solution. I'll be happy with just like 100 of these divisions. Now, before people start complaining in the comments, oh no, that's not historically accurate. The Soviets historically spammed infantry. Look, I do not give a about historical accuracy anymore. Did you see the frickin' Mannerheim line from earlier? To be honest, even with our new improved division, I'm still very unsure about it because, yeah, this thing. I mean, like, no matter what division we make, it's gonna be debuffed by 1,000,000%. We have to find a way to get rid of some of these debuffs. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to activate my inner lawyer. I am going to scour this entire game, and I'm gonna find a loophole to this shit, because I absolutely refuse, point blank, to play with this modifier. I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. And when I said I was gonna outsmart this mod, I was not messing around, because I literally spent the next hour reading through every single tooltip in the game, every single prerequisite of every single focus and every single decision. What the fuck am I doing with my life? And finally, after over an hour of painful searching, this happened. Lessons of Art doesn't have... Wait a second. Hold on a second, okay. So I've just realized the thing previously stopping us from doing army reform was the officer's purged spirit, and because right now I've just started a new game, I don't actually have the officer's purged spirit. You don't actually start the game with it, you get it after you do the Great Purge focus. But, follow me closely here, because the logic is pretty complicated. What if you just didn't do the focus? You didn't have to cut me off. Alright, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here, because, yeah, the last time I thought I had a brilliant idea, that went absolutely brilliantly. Honestly, if this loophole works, then we could just reform the army and then do the purge, and all our problems are solved. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is it. Well, there's only one way to find out if this works. Right now, it is July 1936, which means technically I could start the Great Purge focus and thereby completely screw myself. Obviously, we're not gonna do that. Now, in theory, by the time I get 200 army XP, which might take fucking forever, I should be able to reform the army. If we're able to do that, then we've won, basically. Just like that, with the magic of editing, we now have 200 army XP. I actually just finished the tank shopping list there, so that's where I got the XP from. The moment of truth. Are we going to be able to reform the army, or have the developers been a million steps ahead of me as usual?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
A few moments later.
Did somebody say another 200 army XP? That's right, we're doing this again. I don't know if this, like, loophole thing is intended or not. I could have just been really stupid to not have seen it at the start. I mean, my guess is that it's not intended. They're gonna quote-unquote patch it in the next update. But honestly, developers, if you want my advice, you should just get good at history. LMAO. Okay, you sons of bitches, Finland, you are in so much trouble this time. I mean, my divisions are cracked, my army... okay, yeah, it's still pretty bad, but it's a hell of a lot better than last time. And this time, I'm going to kick your ass. We ready for this? Let's go. Winter War, take 2. So this time I had the additional brilliant idea of luring them off their core territory and onto my core territory. I don't know why I didn't think of this last time. But with our reformed army and the extra bonuses on core territory, Finland does not stand a chance. I mean, we are just grinding them to death right now. You know what I call this? I call this sweet, sweet vengeance. The dumbest thing is that Finland's like one of my favorite countries, but this mod is so horrendously awful that I am legitimately shaking my fist at them right now. I got you now, you frickin' cheating, goddamn historically inaccurate son of a bitch.
Finish him!
With Finland gone, we had scored a massive W. However, the big challenge was still ahead: Germany. I ran into a small issue where if you still have political paranoia, you cannot annex the Baltics. I have no idea why. I don't know why Stalin being paranoid stops us from eating countries. Makes no damn sense, like the rest of this mod. But I got around that with a classic special military operation. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm even bothering with the Baltics, is that if we don't eat them, the Germans will invade them anyway. It's rigged as fuck, but there's no way of getting around it. The next year and a half was basically spent micromanaging and maximizing every single tiny detail that could help us resist the invasion. I wrote down what level fort needed to be built on each tile. I figured out that if you don't take Bessarabia, Romania will stay neutral. I added military police for like the extra 0.01 recovery rate. I used armored car recon. Does anyone even know this thing exists, by the way? For the extra 2% bonus on forts. I made a different division template for every single type of combat width. I sketched a sine curve of when to build forts. Okay, just kidding, I didn't actually do that, but I did maximize basically everything else. This was truly going to be my final attempt. January 1st, 1942. We have not taken a single step back. If that isn't victory, then I don't know what is. I'm not playing this shit anymore. Peace out. You know, the biggest crime of this mod is Barbarossa starting at 11 AM rather than the correct time of 3:15 AM. Literally unplayable.